here thinks that we're getting into a meeting talking about international commerce, right? Because we're going to get Rob over to the Philippines and we're going to talk more about coffee and we're going to talk more about beans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Specifically cacao. So I'm going to start off with that though. This is actually for Smart Sailboat, everybody, because today, like all days, I'm sitting here in this, fixer-upper sailboat. I got a question for Rob, really quick. Okay. The reason why is because Rob has spent a number of years as a mechanic. Okay. And like any vessel that needs to be cooled on the water, this has a water pump. And I'm going to show you how bad this water pump is. You okay with that, Rob?
Sure. Okay, I see the pulley. What's going on here? Oh, this is the external cooling system.
This is the external cooling system. And look at how much the belts have come off, right?
How seized is it? Is it still turning?
Well, here's the thing. That's the question for you, okay? When I turn it like this, I can actually, it takes a little bit of pressure. One second here, but watch this. Oh, I'm turning the wrong way.
Okay.
It's turning, okay? And it's turning, it's tight, but I can hear the rubber on the inside.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when I look in, they all look fine. They actually look quite good. They don't look like they're worn or anything like that. So are these normally just a little bit tight? Because it feels like it's no tighter than the rubber hitting the wall of the pump. What do you think?
You seemed like you were pulling a little hard. Go again.
Well, sure. Just trying to put somewhere where I can pull it hard.
I just want to see you.
Yeah. Like it, force it, force it, force it, force it. Oh, I'm going the wrong way again. Sorry. Force it, force it.
I can't
nope.
see how much pressure you're
like
boy. You shouldn't have to pull. I think you're turning. It's a bit firm. Like maybe
like that. There we go.
It's like it's dried out. Put some olive oil in there. Something that's not going to deteriorate the rubber.
Really?
What do you got for oil? What do you got for oils that's not petroleum oil, like a vegetable oil?
I got vegetable oil. You think? Just because, yeah. So the water's now gone. So you're saying,
well, yeah, you have it sitting too often. You literally should start that engine up like every week or 2 weeks, because yeah, I wouldn't leave it very often.
So you think maybe if I just put some
you might get it to come back. Yeah, the rubber sounds dried out. Put some vegetable oil in there. I could be wrong, but I mean, other than that, you need another pump, right?
Yeah.
And you're not going to unbolt that because you know that the bolts are probably going to break, right? Or the screws, because it's rusted in.
Exactly. I don't really want to pull this apart without having a replacement on hand, right? Obviously.
So put the oil in there, some vegetable oil in the suction side, turn a little bit, and then leave it for a bit.
So you think it might just be that the rubber's so dry, even though there's water in here, right?
Oh, that's about the only thing that's going to get it to come back, other than taking it apart or buying another one.
So, but it doesn't feel like it's got a bearing, seized bearing. That's where I'm going with this, right?
How close is it to the steel bracket, the pulley? It doesn't look like it's moved. Can you move it in and out?
No, I can't move it in and out. It's tight. It doesn't feel like it's wobbly or anything like that.
I think it's a bit tight. Anyways, try a bit of vegetable oil and then leave it for a bit and then go from there. Right?
Really? Okay. Huh.
Oh yeah. Just don't use the petroleum or you'll wreck it. The rubber.
You'll wreck the rubber. Okay, so use like a okay.
Because it'll eat it away.
for the day. Obviously, guys, this is talking about how you can take a YouTube channel or Facebook and be able to get to the point where you have enough followers that you can monetize it, right? Now, Rolly, Harvey, you saw how that worked yesterday with Coliseo, right? Yeah, so that's what this is. It's if I can turn camera back, shot of myself. I don't expect that Old Man in the Sea is a sexy thing that a lot of people are going to be watching this at all, right? It's to learn the process without it being anything of risk to the main business. Make sense?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So we can learn. We can play around with Facebook. We can play around with the brand Smart Sailboat, and nobody cares because guess what? We can't play around with Launch Online anymore, can we, guys? It's real. Like it's really real. Okay.
So what you're saying is you can't screw it up.
Yeah, I can't screw it up. I can't say something inappropriate.
Not an option.
Brand. No. The main brand people expect it is professional. I mean, I really can't write anything inside the digital design, passing it by marketing department, passing it by the CTO, making sure everything's correct for what we do for digital signage, right? Well, this is now kind of happening for Launch Online. Yeah, we're like number 2 in the world for a catchphrase for technology. Well, why would I screw that up by saying something inappropriate in a video, right? Or doing with how we did Facebook advertising. Here's an example, okay? Harvey, you got blocked on Facebook for advertising, right? Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Lord, you're a world expert at knowing all the different pitfalls of Facebook and trying to run ad campaigns, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So when you get blocked, it sucks, and you got to work backwards and figure out what the hell you did wrong because they don't exactly give you a lot of communication. Yeah. So Smart Sailboat might get 1,000 followers. It might make some beer money. And did you see the numbers, Rob, yesterday with Coliseo?
Yeah, like and it's so funny because he was talking about roasting a turkey, and we've been doing that for 20 years.
Yeah.
At work, at the end of the day, when we go get a case of beer and we put a turkey in the roaster, like it's just interesting how many people. I mean, obviously it's the way he's displaying it.
Yeah.
And the amount of numbers he got. But I mean, I've been told in the past that the crazy stuff that I used to do on the farm, I should have been reporting that, but I didn't.
Well, and side story. So a buddy of mine, some of you guys already know, Dwayne on Vancouver Island. His daughters have been working, spending all their time on Instagram and posting all these pictures and all that kind of stuff. You know how pissed off they were when he got way more followers just doing something crazy with his backhoe. Like one video, Trump, all of their work over years of doing like what people normally expect you to do. So sometimes doing crazy things like, oh, I'm working on water pumps in a sailboat. There might actually be people that just want to know about this water pump, right?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing for me is a friend will show up, the welder, you met him back and he showed up one day and I was changing the oil on the car or on the Jeep. And he's like, holy cow. And I'm like, what? He's like, what is this this isn't the first time you've done this? I'm like, no. So it's not about changing the oil, it's that I use the forklift with a bunch of extensions and I just lift the whole vehicle up at waist height so I don't have to bend over to change the oil.
And we call this in North America, we call it haywire. Everybody in the Philippines, that's our phrase. It's haywire. It's not normal. You're taking wire that you normally use for hay and you're lifting vehicles up with it. Like it's called haywire. That's our phrase, right?
What would haywire be in the Philippines?
Filipino. Seriously. The culture is about trying to figure out how to be creative.
Yeah, we do things that are just way crazier. Like one motorcycle could could ride like 10 people or more.
Oh yeah. So, but what about when it's a Filipino that's doing something crazier than the average Filipino?
Oh, there's a lot.
No, is there a phrase for that though?
Yeah.
Just call him a wacko.
Yeah.
face person.
We have a catchphrase for that, like only in the Philippines.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Yeah. 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 Well, yeah, actually, we call it only a redneck, I guess, is what.
Yeah, yeah. I think Jackie was able to see like a motor designed for small boats. A Filipino actually used that to power a motorcycle.
Oh, yeah. He forwarded that to me, and instead of like taking the prop off, he actually
Mm,
had to prop it in a bucket of water, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
actually he used that for local transportation. He charges people, you know. uh,
Uh,
yeah,
it's his way of not being on Facebook getting likes. It's his way of,
yeah,
yeah, I get
yeah.
it. Interesting.
Yeah, Filipinos, yeah.
A way to make it work. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, anyways, so where were you going with all? Oh, yeah. So you're going where with this, Jay? You there still? I see you.
Hello, Jackie.
Let's try this now. Can everybody hear me again?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, that was me being dumbass, forgetting that my phone was about out of power. Sorry about that. So back to, it is part of the culture to figure out how to squeeze as much as, efficiency as you can on nothing, which is really
Mhm.
what being haywire is all about. We got this and this and this. Let's try to connect it to this. Did it all kind of work? Yep.
Mhm.
I watched I go driving down the road in the Philippines with an outboard motor going 80
We
kilometers an hour down the highway.
Lord was just talking about that.
Yeah.
What you didn't tell me,
Really?
what Lord told me, is the guy. Yeah, but you showed me that. But I didn't know what
Yeah,
Lord told me was that the guy is actually has it as a business now, taking people around.
Yeah.
So that's the hard way of getting people's attention. Whereas we're going to try and use social media, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. So with
Mm.
that, I'm going to stop recording for Smart Sailboats. Anybody that goes to Smart Sailboat and watches this will be like, wow, there's a lot more infrastructure required for doing social media, for even things like, hey, I'm messing around on a sailboat, than people realize. To be successful at this, it's a full-time job with a lot of people, right? Yeah. So stop recording at that one, and we'll get into the actual core business now. Okay.